Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Friday, the 25th of December 2020. Thanks for joining me and Merry Christmas to you. I'm going to use the Celestial Tarot for today's reading. Let's see what the cards have to say about Friday, the 25th of December and what energy you'll be working with. I hope you are planning some positive things for Christmas this year, and if not, don't worry. If this is a difficult time for you, you're not alone, and this will pass as well. It's not the easiest time of year for a lot of people, so if you are struggling, then we're with you in spirit, and I certainly am. So let's see what the cards have to say. First card, we've got Perseus, the Three of Wands. Argo again, great. And the Queen of Swords. Okay, so I don't really know the story of Perseus. The Three of Wands is about adventure. We've got Jupiter and Aries there. Jupiter is growth, expansion, good luck, good fortune. Aries is about ramming your way through and really being full of self-will and saying, this is what I desire, therefore I am going to get it. Oh, Perseus, he's got Medusa's head here, so he's a hero who has slain the monster, and he's done that with his own personal strength. So you have a lot of power that you can rely on. You are shielded, you're protected. He's got little wings on his shoes, so you're able to move forward with your life. You're able to go in lots of different directions. All you have to do is will it. So self-will is like the Chariot in the tarot. It's saying, I want to do something, therefore I'm going to hop on my little chariot and I'm going to gallop off and I'm going to do it. And sometimes we do have to will things ourselves. I often talk a lot about connecting with your higher self and asking the universe for guidance and support. But if you want something, if you have a desire, that is your higher self anyway. Self-will is the desire of the universe speaking through you and saying, hey, I want to move house, or I want to kill Medusa, or I want to go on a trip, or I want to make my life bigger next year, or I want to learn something, or I just want to keep everything as it is. Whatever it is you want, there's a reason that you have those desires. So trust yourself. It's interesting because I heard recently that if it happened, then it is God's will, because nothing happens outside of God's will. And if you want it, then it's your higher self speaking through you, saying that is something that will help you. The only thing we need to watch out for is the ego, which kind of tends to sabotage us a little bit, and which can be seen as the lower self. So let's say someone who's got a drug problem decides, I want to get back on drugs. Then that's not for his greatest good. Then you can be certain that that's his ego speaking, and that's not going to make his life bigger and more wonderful. That's the lower self trying to sabotage. And what I found is that it's quite easy to differentiate between the higher self guidance and the ego guidance. Well, it's not always easy, but you can try by doing some sort of spiritual practice. Meditation helps. Things like if you're into sports, if you're into Qigong or yoga, anything that gets you in the zone. You know, that space where you just feel you're in the moment and you're connected with the universe and things are just flowing naturally and easily. And for different people, different things get them there. For some people, it's art. For some people, it's music. For some people, it's running, competing. So the higher self is quiet and it's repetitive, and it never makes you feel like, oh, if I don't do this urgently, everything's going to go belly up. It's calm and it guides you over and over to do something. So in Perseus's case, he had the desire to kill the monster and make the town safe for everyone else over and over and over again. The lower self, or the ego, that is always urgent. It says, do this now, otherwise everything's going to go wrong. It fills you with anxiety, and it's usually that just occurs to you. It's something that happens on a whim. And what just occurred to me, the other thing I practice when to try and differentiate between the higher self and my intuition and my gut, and they're all the same thing, and the lower self, is when I drive, I try to predict where the cars are going. And for some reason, I've always been able to do that, and I just love doing it. And trying to suss out a parking space, or you can use a pendulum or do your own cards, whatever kind of forces you to use that spiritual muscle of trying to suss out what is going on. Do that. Today, you will have a lot of willpower and you'll be able to set some goals. We've got the 3 wands here, their life purpose and passion. So something will come in that excites you again. So if it's as simple as going for a walk because that excites you, or deciding what you're going to do in 2021. It's about having fun and feeling like, wow, there is hope for the future. Something good can happen to me. It's not all hopeless. It's not meh. It's something positive can happen and I have the power to do it. So Perseus is supporting you with that. He's helping you to get your own kind of optimism back. And he says, you are not this helpless babe in the woods. You are a powerful spiritual being and you can do whatever you like. Then we've got Argo. We've got the 3 of Cups. And that is usually about friendship and connection. So it's interesting that we've got this again in the Christmas season. We had this yesterday, I think, on Christmas Eve. So it's a good time to connect with other people and to enjoy people's company. Cancer is about the family and taking care of each other. Neptune is being in touch with your own feelings. So you can use that to connect with those around you and to enjoy the time, the day, and to give presents and to see the smiles on other people's faces and to be happy with the time that you've been given. But you can also use it to really suss out what it is you truly want. If you've been a little bit adrift lately and you're like, I don't really want anything, I'm bored or I'm fed up or whatever it may be, Perseus is a really good sign here that you are able to plan the future in a positive and empowering way. So use this energy to take care of yourself as well as other people. And then we've got the ship here, this beautiful sky ship with the winds blowing and it's moving forward. So really just have a word with yourself and say, hey, you are not that bad. You're amazing. Thank you for getting me through 2020. Thank you for getting me to the place I'm at in my life. You've got me this far. I trust that you're going to get me to even better and bigger and more wonderful things in future. Finally, we've got fixed air. We've got the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is someone who has to make tough decisions, and she does that for the greater good. So she's not just interested in cutting people's heads off. She's interested in making decisions that are going to affect those around her. So let's say, I don't know, Medusa is terrorizing her town or her kingdom, and she says, do you know what, this is untenable. I'm not having this snakehead person running around turning everybody to stone. I'm going to hire this weird little creature and I'm going to say, take care of the problem so that the people under my rule can have a nice life and can go back to doing what they like to do. Here we've got Uranus. And that's really interesting because Uranus is the unexpected and the chaotic. So the Queen of Swords often gets a bad rap because she's seen as this hard, cold person, but she really isn't. She makes decisions that are important, whether they're fun little decisions to go scuba diving or whether they're tough decisions to, I don't know, irrigate the farms better and they have to redo the agriculture system, I don't know, and all the farmers get miffed. But in the end, they're happy about it. Uranus is about the unexpected and the miraculous and really what you couldn't foresee. So she's the person who deals with chaos. And she's like, oh, I didn't see this coming. As queen, I didn't think I was going to have to deal with giant ogres invading the land and destroying all the trees. But, well, here it is. So I'm going to make a decision about how I'm going to handle that. So she's someone who can handle whatever you throw at her. She's super intelligent. She's been ruling for a while. She makes good decisions. She's proven that. And she will continue to make decisions whatever comes her way. So today, you're able to really connect with other people in a positive way. So you may have to make some decisions to keep things nice. And to say, do you know what, I may be a little bit offended, but I'm not going to go on a rampage and ruin this day for everybody. I'm going to make the decision to let that slide today, for example. And that's for the greater good in that situation. Or it may be that she wants to make plans for herself and just lock herself up and say, I want to schedule 2021 down to the day. Is that for the greater good? No, it's a chaotic feeling that you may not be used to, shutting herself away and saying, I'm making plans solo. But if that comes in, she's willing to deal with it, and she's going to say, there are other people. This is a chaotic feeling, but I'm going to think about this clearly and rationally, and I'm going to make the decision for the greater good. So she's selfless, and her decisions lead to freedom for everybody else. And I just want to look at this weird little man here. He's got, it's the two stars on the top. It kind of looks like one of the characters from DuckTales with his head backwards. So it's like an air elemental, and it may be the water bearer, it may be Aquarius, but it's this presence that she connects with, and it's almost like her messenger. And if she wills something, again, we've got self-will, then he goes out and takes care of it. I don't know if you guys ever read books by, what's her name? Anne Rice. There was this amazing book I read in the 90s when I was a teenager, The Witching Hour, and it was this major epic about this family, and it was a matriarchy. It was the women all had these, in each generation, the women had magic powers. They were witches. And there was one in each generation who was really, really strong. And she inherited this familiar, this ghost, this elemental type of thing. He was called Lasher. And Lasher wasn't very pleasant, so he caused problems for all of them. But it reminds me of this. So she's got this familiar, and if she wants to do something, she wants to make a decision, she sends him off because he's disembodied and he can fly to Africa or wherever and make the changes that she wants to implement. So she's the ruler of the galaxy here. So trust your own judgment, use your will and your willpower to make good decisions for yourself. You're naturally going to be considerate, and you're not going to do things which harm other people. And that's another telltale sign that your higher self is at work. Because your higher self isn't going to say, oh, do this. Yeah, like for instance, the guy who wants to get back on drugs. I want to get back on drugs. That's not going to make his family particularly happy, because he's going to slide into addiction and they're all going to be worried and concerned. So if you find that you make a decision for your future, the Queen of Swords is only going to let you make that decision if it serves the greater good. So I want to get a better job. Your family will benefit from that as a side effect, because you'll be more satisfied in your work. You'll be less grumpy. You'll make more money, so you have more freedom to give presents on Christmas. It's that kind of thing. So you can really listen to your own will today and really do your own will, because it's going to take you a long way, and it's a good decision. So if self-will comes running in, really embrace it and say, oh, you want me to do something? I will. Thank you for the opportunity. Hooray. This looks great. We've got 3 and another 3. 3 in itself is communication and connection to the higher self, and the way you think and your perspective on things. So that's really positive, and you're open to other people, and you're really caring and loving. And then we've got a chord card, which is 1. So 3 and 3 is 6, and 1 is 7. 7 is the mind and creativity. So you're able to use your intellect, your experience, and your creative abilities to make good decisions for yourself, regardless of your chaotic or non-chaotic circumstances, and decisions that then benefit other people, which, like I said, is a trademark of the higher self at work. So you can really trust the messages you get today. It's very unlikely that the ego is trying to kind of undermine you. By the way, I looked on the internet for the Christmas star, and I'm in Austria at the moment. It's super overcast and I can't see it. But I looked online, and they're just rubbishy pictures. It looks really like tiny everywhere. So if you have some good pictures, and put them on Instagram and tag me so I can see it. That'd be amazing, because I want to see the Christmas star, and it's been really overcast and snowy and rainy here the whole time, so I'd really like to see it. I think it's a great symbol of hope. Even if you can't see it, it's going to influence us astrologically, but the cards are pretty much saying the same thing. They're saying you're under a benevolent star at the moment. You're working with a positive presence, which is helping your life and your purpose, and there is hope for the future. Don't be afraid to do your own will. It's there for a reason. So have a wonderful day. Merry Christmas. Have a great, great holiday. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. click on the book your readings button to audio reading with me. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button to join our amazing community here on YouTube, and share the video online. Have a wonderful Friday, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.